I'm Jovy E with R&B Only here at the 56th Annual NAACP Image Awards, and I'm just asking. What is a song that you can't stop singing in the shower these days?
If we're going R&B, anything from Miseducation of Lauryn Hill I would sing. Layla Hathaway, Lettucey has some great stuff right now. She has a new song out.
You know what? On the way here, I was listening to Alexander O'Neal. Da-da-da, you were here tonight. Hey. Da-da-da. I was listening to that.
A lot of old Ashford and Simpsons kind of on repeat for me right now.
Groove Line by Heatwave.
That R&B.
I'll allow it.
What's the sense of sharing their one and only life? Ending up just another lost and lonely wife. You'll count up the years and they will be filled with tears.
Who sings I Don't Wanna Know? If you play me, keep it on the low, cause my heart can't take it anymore.
Well, it'd be nice if he was singing with me in the shower, but he married Tanks When We. Oh, don't you love that song?
Yeah. That residual song is crazy. That thing, and then it just went viral with everyone doing the verses, and it just feels so good. Chris Brown, you never miss.
I always sing At Last in the shower for some reason. I don't know why.
I feel like it's been Chapel Roan for me. Pink Pony Club, I wanna keep on dancing at the pink. You know that song, Pink Pony Club?
Yeah. Tyler Art, I'll be a piece.
It's probably one of my own. I'll be making music every day. Probably a song that it had something not released. I can't tell you.
Ooh, tomatoes.
I'm gonna go Missing You by Case.
I'm standing here looking out my window. Nice cause I don't have you.
I would go with my own song called Easy. Loving you is easy. It comes easy to me.
Can we talk?
That'll run.
Girl, I want to know your name.
Lovely Day, Bill Withers. That's just one of my favorites.
I could sing Tenderoni by Bobby Brown every single day. I'm looking for a Roni, sweet, slit, a girl.
Whitney Houston, I'll always love you.
That'll run that water bill all the way up.
Lay it down. Oh, lay it down.
My wife's favorite song is Wait for Love, so that song's been playing a lot lately. Yeah.
Hydration by David Michael White, or this song called Lavender by Kamau. That boy crazy.
I'll take it all the way to gospel. We got some Chance Moore. You leave the 99. Oh, it's for the one.
Mutt.
That's a baby, I'm a dog.
I'm a mutt. Hey, I'm a mutt.
BBL Drizzy.
I don't sing in the shower because I sang in real life.
Bruno Mars, he died with a smile. I love it. If the world was ending, I wanna be next to you.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, Serpentine Fire, or either Sly Stone.
Oh, we're singing.
Summer Walker, Heart of a Woman. Only thing that's saving you, okay? And let's be clear.
And I hope your ain't lying.
Period.
This is bad. It's not R&B. Wicked has me in such a chokehold. I'm sorry.
DJ got us Falling in Love by Usher. Love in This Club by Usher. Mad by Neo. Now we're mad for nothing.
Anything by Beyonce or SZA? Saturn by SZA. Life's better on Saturn. Try to break this pattern.
Who would you say is your queen of R&B?
Of R&B, I'm going to go with Gladys Knight.
Nita Baker.
Lock it in.
Period. The queen of R&B. Wow. You kind of have to say Aretha.
Cannot disagree with Robert Glasper.
It's Aretha. So many greats that come down from her.
Aretha gets a lot of credit, but Gladys and those pips, Gladys was banging.
Of Aretha Franklin for me. I grew up on the old school, so it's a Whitney Houston. I grew up on Whitney, so I don't know. There's a lot of queens.
I like Thames. Beyonce?
Yeah, Beyonce. I love SZA. I love her, who does our song for the 688.
Does Whitney count as R&B?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, Whitney.
I would say Beyonce. Yeah.
Lauryn Hill.
Monica, Randy, Aaliyah.
I have a Mount Rushmore. It's Mary J. Blige. It's Anita Baker. It's Brandy. It's Tamia. It's Whitney Houston. And then I round it out with Kiki Wyatt.
Give me that playlist. Send me that one.
Aretha's up there.
Oh yeah, Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston is like the queen.
Like Aretha Franklin.
Aretha's just amazing.
But Aretha Franklin was the queen of soul, and then you have the greats of Chaka Khan's, the Tina Turners, the Janet Jacksons, even Beyonce of today. So I think it's hard to pick one.
Aaliyah.
I don't know, maybe it's because she was taken from us so soon, so early in her career, that it just feel like you snapped right back to where you were when you first heard it.
Mary J. Blige, and going back, Roberta Flack was a beast.
Beyonce's Giselle Knowles Carter. I don't even know why that's a question.
Jasmine Sullivan, I'm not scared of lions and tigers and bears.
If I'm honest with you, it'd be Mary J. Blige. She created her own genre of music, but it'd have to be Mary. I wasn't even going through a breakup, but every breakup she was going through, I was going through.
I mean, the picture that popped in my head was Sade, but like Anita Baker, it's hard. There's not one.
Queen? Or do we have to even question Beyonce? like.
So dead has to be Aretha Franklin. She's the Bible. Alive, the Queen. Is Beyonce still considered R&B? You know, I'm like, she put out a country record, but she still is giving us R&B.
Genreless.
Phyllis Hyman. That's going way back now. You don't even know who Phyllis Hyman is.
I absolutely do. I wouldn't have this job if I didn't now.
Look at
what?
I love me some Toni Braxton. I'm a Toni Braxton kind of girl.
We have to say Aretha. I would say Holding It Down Today, Beyonce. She's going through all the different genres, but she never lets you forget the R&B. Even when she's singing country, she's going to give you a little riff and a run.
Beyonce, she's like a goddess. I love her so much. She's like one of my idols.
Rihanna or Beyonce?
Aretha.
I feel like Mary J. Blige. I feel like Beyonce now has transcended genre.
Whitney. Can't go wrong with Whitney.
What about on the men's side, King of R&B?
King of R&B. I'd say Michael, but that's pop. We're thinking R&B, Marvin Gaye?
Lionel Richie.
You gotta throw Luther in.
Oh, Luther.
Luther. The king of R&B music, I will say Stevie Wonder. But he's not even just R&B. He's the one that really stretched R&B music to where it's like, it doesn't sound the same. None of his albums, all the albums, they sound different.
Harold Melvin and Blue Notes, I go back that far.
I just saw my boy Jacob Lattimore. He's killing it. Boys to Men, like groups.
I love Leon Bridges.
I think Chris Brown is really talented.
Okay, I'm not gonna say this is the king of R&B, but somebody I really, really love is Brian McKnight. It's one of my favorite male vocalists of all time.
I'm gonna go with Usher. But you know what though? Chris Brown. Chris be doing it for me.
I like Usher.
Joe, one of them ones. Keith Sweat, Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross, Jagged Edge.
Bring the real yearners back, okay?
For real, we back.
I'll give it to Usher.
I can't say that. But
who would be the king of R&B? I don't like Usher.
I can give Usher that.
Marvin Gaye.
I would have to say Marvin Gaye.
Usher. I mean, because think about like creating music since we were kids.
Oh boy, Luther.
Can't stop talking about his documentary.
Oh my God. Here and Now, amazing.
Usher Raymond. He is timeless. His voice sounds amazing. Got to hear him in Vegas, and he sounded so good.
Hey, take your time. What's the rush? Ooh. Leon. Ooh, I saw him at a party. I said, hold on. You my Valentine? No, I'm chilling. Be calm.
Every man that I ask will tell you that they love R. Kelly. Every man that I ask will say that, right? And I would say I disagree wholeheartedly. I would give it to Usher hands down every single day.
Old school, maybe like Luther Vandross. Yeah, no, Luther Vandross. But before that, Donny Hathaway for sure. And then new school, I'm sure there's plenty.
D'Angelo. There was a point in time when you could put some D'Angelo on and that's it. That was it.
Gregory Porter, he's my dude right now. Got to be Babyface.
I'm gonna go with Usher. I'm going Usher for me. I'm feeling the Usher vibe.
You know what? I'm so old school. I listen to Stevie Wonder like every single day. My mother comes to my house. She's like, "You got Stevie on? Like, get with the times."
I'm gonna say it's a tie between Neo and Usher because we always know that they've both been R&B legends since they began.
Usher.
The king of R&B is James Brown. Come on, say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud.
You know what? I'm gonna say Usher. I saw him in Vegas. He was incredible, and he's someone you're like, he has so many songs.
I gotta go with Usher. Yeah, that boy can sing.
R&B Only Live is a show that will take you on a journey of R&B music from past, present, and future. We bring together the best of the genre with our all-female DJs, talented hosts, and electrifying energy all night long. Get tickets to the tour now at rnbonly.com/calendar and vibe with a room full of R&B lovers.
New school R&B versus old school R&B. Which way are we going?
Old school R&B.
Old school? What's the difference for you?
Actual musicians.
Lyrics, playing music, and
Innovators.
What's being said
love
is
songs,
truthful.
Actual love songs instead of sex songs.
Old school.
Old school. I don't want to insult any new school because I'm rooting for you. But, there's passion and authenticity. There's a feeling. People taking their time.
independently.
I think we have a lot of talented artists who are working now, and hopes and prayers.
Real musicians, real instruments. Also, I feel like old school R&B, there were more people who were themselves back then. They weren't chasing a sound. They were making the sounds. It was okay to be different, and everybody kind of had their own sound. Now it's like, oh, this is the sound of the next 3 years. Everybody sounds like that. And that's what now it's the music business, so record companies are now behind that, and it becomes a factory. Back then, none of that.
Girl, old school all the way. Don't play with me. Old school. I be in with Laverne. I'm with Betty Wright. I'm old school. I'm going all the way back. Old Anita Baker. I'm going back.
Old school, it's a little more clever. Lyricism, it's a little more romantic to me. Some of the new school is just in your face with it. And I'm like, we could just be a little less, abrupt with it.
Old school. Old school. Old school. What's the difference for you? The romance. Yeah, the soul of the romance.
There's like a depth to it that just can't be beat.
And I feel like it's not so digital. Real instrumentation.
Old school, more talented, I think, better singers, and more heart. And just, I feel like we live in a world everybody's trying to be too cool. I remember listening to songs my dad would play, and they were crying. They were crying on stage, and I just felt more connected to it because it felt more real. Now it just feels like if I show you that I'm trying, then I'm not cool, and then it doesn't make any sense. Especially for an art like R&B, it's about being sad. It's about emoting emotion, and I just feel like people today aren't doing that.
Let's go old school. I'm gonna try my chance with old school. Our studios are more crisp, but theirs had more character. You heard everything in their records, but it made the record. The creaks in the wood floors, you know what I'm saying?
I would have to say old school R&B for sure. The difference is just a sound. Like, it was just always something new and original back then.
Oh, passion, substance, intention, originality. If you notice, a lot of things are being flipped in the R&B space. Old 90s R&B records getting flipped. Because there is a method, there is kind of like a recipe to it. And I think the newer artists are like, yo, let's flip it and run it back again.
Oh, old school R&B. They were singing about real emotions, like New Edition, Silk, like that moment, that era, my 10-year-old self was singing my heart out about heartbreak that I didn't experience.
Old school.
New school.
For me, the old school R&B just has more soul to it. I mean, not saying all the new doesn't, but it's nothing like that old school.
Old school. They take their time. It's the feel of it. The beat isn't taking you 1,000 places, and they talking about something. It's more substance. Old school.
Maybe it's nostalgic.
They both have merit, New school, sometimes I feel like there's a lot of similarity in the sound and the take. Old school, I feel really created stars, people who will last. And you always recognize their voice on the second or third note.
Mostly old. Honestly, it was exposure. I'm thinking about R&B in the time where I didn't really have any control over what music was being played because it was my mama's car. You know what I mean? So Silk had her in a chokehold. There's a meeting in my bedroom.
Old school. Old. Soul. Richness. Depth. Nuance.
I'm going old school. I mean, there's some new school that I do love, but old school keep me alive. I think the difference is the struggle bus. I feel like old school was on the struggle bus. They had horrible contracts. They had horrible deals. So they were just like seeking for ramen noodles. These new school babies, they got a little more independent.
The struggle bus?
They were on the struggle bus. So that's why you hoping a car pick you up. These new school babies ain't got to do all that. They got money from TikTok.
I love some old school. I look like Lauryn Hill, so.
You know what?
I get it all the time.
Your parents ate on that.
They did.
Old school R&B. There is no even new school R&B in my opinion. What is new school R&B?
I mean, like the Leon Thomas, the SZAs, the Summer Walkers.
Okay, I appreciate them. And there's another guy that I just discovered, Joseph Solomon. Do you know him? So good. I'm still going to go old because I think they're always trying to redo with the new. They're trying to redo the old.
Old school R&B. Maybe just repetition at this point. You know what I'm saying? I'm open though, but old school R&B for sure.
Old school. The songwriting for me hits me a little deeper with the old school. Not saying that the new stuff doesn't, but it's just I'm a man of a certain age. So
these days I'm rocking some middle of the road. I'm rocking Kem these days. I just saw Gregory Porter, so he is in my head. He's influenced by all the old R&B, so you can't have one without the other.
I like to call myself the new old, so I'm going with a mixture of the two, baby. New school R&B is really on the shoulders of the old school. It's very much so familiar with 2.0 twists.
I like new school.
Okay, that's a plot twist. I wasn't expecting that. What do you enjoy about new school R&B?
It's adventurous. I call it crazy, kind of sexy, but it also pays tribute to the old school as well.
Baby, old school. I mean, it's just good. The men are begging. You know, the ladies are telling you how you feel, demanding it.
Oh, I'm old school. I want to act like I'm cool, but I'm old school.
Old school R&B is the only way to go, really.
Old school R&B. The rhythm, yeah. I feel like it's a little bit smoother than now.
So you know I just directed James Brown. So you know I'm gonna have to go old school. I'm gonna have to keep it real with JB all day long.
Hey, let's go old school to be safe. I would say the new school actually is closer to the old school than even the R&B of like 10 years ago. I feel like the artists like Coco Jones or October London, I feel like they're actually embracing more of the old school.
Old school all day. Passion, intent.
Who are some new school R&B artists that you feel still bring that same kind of vibe that you all are enjoying these days?
I love her. I'd be remiss if I didn't say Childish Gambino. Donald is my boy. I love what he's doing. SZA's good. Yeah, Bruno's amazing.
Yeah. I love SZA. Chris Brown, of course. Vito. Loving Vito.
Oh, I love Coco Jones. She's like amazing. Chris Brown. I love Usher. Although it's not new school, but to me, I'm a huge Usher fan.
I just told them I'm loving Mutt from Leon Thomas right now. He's killing it.
That entire album was mwah.
I would say Bryson Tiller. I always love Tinashe. Like, that's my kind of R&B, like cute, sexy, girly R&B.
Everybody's awesome.
Everybody's amazing. I'm rooting for everybody black.
Everybody's great. Everybody black. Let's go.
T.A. Thomas, Kenyon Dixon, Zay French, me. I like Emi Seacrest. I like her. Money Long. I love Money Long.
I definitely love Summer Walker. I think she's such a great artist. Janae is amazing. Just all the R&B girls are just top tier.
Coco Jones is fire. Kiana Ledee. Giveon, really.
Throw a little Leon Thomas in there.
Oh, Leon Thomas, my dog, man. He's written some of your favorite records. He's one of the most humble and just chill guys. Yeah.
I really am a fan of SZA. I actually like Jacob Lattimore. He's in the building. I like him a lot.
October London I like him. Leon Thomas.
Duran Bernard. This Bloom project he just released, it is so... I called him last night and I said, I can't even get past the 8th track on the project because I keep going back. I keep having to run it back.
I love SZA. I love... Janelle Monáe is not new school, but she is. She's still out here. Victoria Monet. These Monets is killing it, okay? All of them.
Summer Walker, and I love her vibe, and I love her story too of how she went from cleaning, having a normal job and then becoming a creative. That is something that is you can't find anywhere else. Those life skills.
PJ Morton, I like PJ Morton playing instruments. I'm a big fan of artistry in that regard.
Well, last night we had Emi Seacrest. She was amazing.
I love India Shawn, Kenyon Harold, Kenyon Dixon, Duran Bernard.
I want that playlist.
Summer Walker is vibe, Ari Lennox. I love SZA. I love the girls.
That's clear, because the girls are running things.
I love the girls.
Amber Riley is my homegirl. It's crazy. It's did God just rest in your vocal cords and just sit there? So I love her.
I follow her on TikTok, so I see when she goes on her runs on TikTok. I love that.
Her, definitely SZA.
Her, Beyonce. I would consider him R&B. Thames. I would consider him R&B. And Wizkid.
Okay, we know a little something.
I like SZA. I love Solange. Whether you want to call her R&B, my number one will always be Beyonce.
Genreless.
We just don't got the groups and the harmonies like we used to. We don't get no dancing. We don't get no reaching for the camera. None of that.
Shout out to Flo, though. Have you heard of Flo? Girl group out of the UK. I'm sure you've heard some songs if you're on TikTok or anything like that. What is another R&B album, start to finish, no skips?
I would say Any Heartbreak. I know this random. I'm all over the place. Any Heartbreak is an album you can put on from start to finish and listen to every single song. 2 by Boyz II Men is another. Every single song.
Kenny Lattimore's up there too.
Fred Hammond, chapters 1 and 2, Pages of Life.
Can't go wrong.
Whole thing. Every song.
Anything Anita Baker.
Usher, Confessions. Part 2.
First one that came to mind is Confessions. I think Chris Brown's Fame album too is pretty impressive.
I almost said somebody that's canceled, so I'm not going to say that one. I'm going to go with Dangerously in Love. That was a fire album.
Honestly, any Aaliyah album. She was always ahead of her time.
What's the album that Usher had where you got it bad on it? Confessions that really is, because he really told a story with that.
I'm a huge fan of Usher. I saw him in concert in Vegas, so Usher, Confessions, easy.
Destiny's Child, Written on the Wall, did not skip, and I can listen to that again. And when I did listen to it, it's like they was 14 singing it.
Is that the one with If I
Don't Pick Up the Phone? And Bills. You remember? Ladies, leave your man at home. The covers for the ballers and the pockets for the grown. Hey, and I yeah.
I want to make sure I ain't gonna mess it up.
Yeah, do your due diligence.
Here we go. Bam. There it is. I was like, it wasn't motel. Motels though too. The deluxe get you where you need to be.
Jodeci, you know, their first album, man.
Confessions, Usher. I wanted to be the woman he cheated on. That's how much I love it. I said, how a man make you want to get cheated on? I wanted to be the person he had to tell, I got a baby on the way.
It has to be Lauryn Hill still. It has to be.
I would say Leon Thomas. I've been listening to him, no skips. He's just on my mind. And there's no skips. I'm like, yes, everything is just a hit after hit after hit.
The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew that was coming.
I know it's considered pop. He's the king of pop, but Thriller. At this point, I'm trying to find all the songs that didn't make it on the album. You know what I mean?
D'Angelo. I can listen to the Vanguard. Like, it's no skips in that or anything that, you know, I like it when a man talks to me, you know. So any one of them men that's got some songs, I just listen and let you talk to me.
Mary J. Blige, What's the 411? Yes.
Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I don't know if we're calling that R&B or hip hop, but that to me is a perfect album, and we don't say that enough.
Probably Beyonce's Cowboy Carter, the one that Grammy.
Prince, Purple Rain.
Okay, this is going to be surprising to you. Genuine, 100% genuine. You can push play and you could go all the way to the end. You know what?
The second Drew Hill album. And Part 3 by 112. Yeah, both of those, no skips, all the way through.